Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you feel like your children just don't respect you the way they used to? Maybe they dismiss your opinions, ignore your advice, or even talk to you in a way that feels, well, less than kind. If that's happened to you, I want you to know something right away. You're not alone. This is something many parents experience as their children grow older and life changes. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to stay that way. In this video, we're going to talk about 6 powerful ways to regain respect and strengthen your relationship with your children. These aren't quick fixes or magic tricks, but practical, heartfelt strategies that can help you rebuild that connection and feel valued again. So, let's dive in and start with the first 2 steps. The first thing I want to talk about is setting boundaries with love. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Boundaries with my own children? But hear me out. Boundaries aren't about pushing people away. They're about creating a healthy space where respect can grow. For example, if your child speaks to you in a disrespectful tone, it's okay to calmly say, "I love you, but I won't accept being spoken to that way." It's not about being harsh or confrontational. It's about showing them that you value yourself, and in turn, teaching them to value you too. Let me share a quick story. A friend of mine, let's call her Margaret, had a son who would often interrupt her or roll his eyes when she tried to share her thoughts. One day she decided to gently but firmly say, "I'd like to finish what I'm saying, and I'd appreciate it if you'd listen." At first, her son was surprised. He wasn't used to her standing her ground. But over time, he started to listen more and interrupt less. By setting that boundary, Margaret showed her son that her voice mattered, and that small shift made a big difference. Now, the second step is leading by example. This one is so important because respect is often a two-way street. If we want our children to respect us, we need to model the kind of behavior we hope to see in them. That means treating them with kindness, patience, and understanding, even when it's hard. It also means showing respect for ourselves, taking care of our own needs, pursuing our interests, and not allowing others to diminish our worth. Think about it this way. When your children see you living with confidence and self-respect, they're more likely to mirror that behavior. For instance, if you're passionate about a hobby or a cause, share that with them. Let them see the vibrant, capable person you are. When they see you thriving, it reminds them of the value you bring to their lives, not just as a parent, but as a person. Now, I know these steps might feel a little daunting at first, especially if you're used to putting everyone else's needs before your own. But remember, this isn't about being perfect. It's about making small, meaningful changes that can lead to big results over time. So, to recap, we've talked about setting boundaries with love and leading by example. These are the first 2 steps toward rebuilding respect in your relationship with your children. The third step is practicing active listening. Now, I know this might sound a little counterintuitive. After all, we're talking about regaining respect, not giving more of it, right? But here's the thing. Respect often grows when people feel heard and understood. When you take the time to truly listen to your children, without interrupting or judging, you're showing them that their thoughts and feelings matter to you. And when they feel valued, they're more likely to extend that same respect back to you. Let me give you an example. Imagine your adult child comes to you frustrated about something at work or in their personal life. Instead of jumping in with advice or saying, "Well, back in my day," try simply listening. Nod, make eye contact, and say things like, "That sounds really tough. How are you feeling about it?" By doing this, you're creating a safe space for them to open up. Over time, This kind of connection can help rebuild mutual respect and trust. Now, I'll be honest, active listening isn't always easy, especially if you're used to being the one giving advice or if emotions are running high. But even small efforts can make a big difference. Start by setting aside distractions when you're talking to your children. Put down the phone, turn off the TV, and really focus on them. It's a simple gesture, but it sends a powerful message. You matter to me. The fourth step is choosing your battles wisely. As parents, it's natural to want the best for our children, and sometimes that means wanting to guide them or correct them. But as they grow older, it's important to recognize that they're adults with their own lives and choices. Not every disagreement needs to turn into a confrontation. Sometimes, the most respectful thing you can do is step back and let them figure things out on their own. For instance, let's say your child makes a decision you don't agree with. Maybe it's about their career, their relationships, or how they're raising their own children. It can be tempting to jump in and say, "You're making a mistake." But instead, try asking yourself, is this really worth a fight? Is this about their well-being, or is it about my own expectations? By choosing your battles, you're showing them that you trust their ability to make decisions, and that's a powerful form of respect. Of course, this doesn't mean you have to stay silent about everything. If something truly concerns you, it's okay to share your thoughts. But do it in a way that's supportive, not critical. For example, instead of saying, "You're doing this all wrong," you might say, "I'm concerned about this because I care about you. What do you think?" This approach keeps the conversation open and respectful, rather than turning it into a power struggle. Now, I want to pause here for a moment and acknowledge that these steps aren't always easy. They require patience, self-awareness, and sometimes a bit of humility. But the payoff is worth it. When you practice active listening and choose your battles wisely, you're not just rebuilding respect, you're also creating a stronger, more loving relationship with your children. And here's something else to keep in mind. Respect isn't just about how your children treat you, it's also about how you treat yourself. When you model self-respect by setting boundaries, listening actively, and choosing your battles, you're showing your children what healthy relationships look like. And that's a gift that can last for generations. So, to recap, we've covered 2 more steps today: practicing active listening and choosing your battles wisely. These strategies, combined with the ones we talked about earlier, can help you create a more respectful and fulfilling relationship with your children. The 5th step is expressing gratitude and appreciation. Now, this might sound simple, but it's incredibly powerful. When you take the time to acknowledge and appreciate the positive things your children do, it strengthens your connection and encourages them to treat you with the same kindness. Think about it. When someone thanks you or compliments you, doesn't it make you feel valued and respected? The same goes for your children. For example, if your child helps you with something, whether it's a small favor or a big gesture, take a moment to genuinely thank them. You might say something like, "I really appreciate how you helped me with that. It means a lot to me." Or if you notice them doing something kind or thoughtful, let them know you see it. "I've noticed how patient you've been with me lately, and I just want to say thank you." These small expressions of gratitude can go a long way in building mutual respect and warmth. Now, I know what you might be thinking. What if my child isn't doing anything I feel grateful for? That's a fair question, and I get it. Relationships can be complicated, and sometimes it's hard to find things to appreciate. But even in those moments, try to look for the small things. Maybe they called to check in on you, Or maybe they're doing their best to navigate their own challenges. When you focus on the positives, even the little ones, it can shift the energy in your relationship and open the door to more respect and understanding. The sixth and final step is letting go of control. This one can be tough, especially if you're used to being the one who guides and directs your children. But as they grow older, it's important to recognize that they're adults with their own lives, choices, and paths. Letting go of control doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you trust them to make their own decisions, even if they're different from what you would choose. Let me share a story to illustrate this. A friend of mine, let's call her Linda, had a daughter who decided to move across the country for a job. Linda was worried. She didn't want her daughter to be so far away, and she wasn't sure the job was the right fit. But instead of trying to talk her out of it, Linda took a step back and said, "I trust you to make the best decision for yourself. I'm here if you need me." That simple act of letting go showed her daughter that she respected her independence, and it actually brought them closer together. Letting go of control can be challenging, especially if you're used to being involved in every aspect of your children's lives. But when you do, you're sending a powerful message. I respect you as an adult, and I believe in your ability to navigate your own life. And that kind of respect often comes back to you in ways you might not expect. So there you have it, 6 powerful steps to help you regain respect from your children. Setting boundaries with love, leading by example, practicing active listening, choosing your battles wisely, expressing gratitude and appreciation, and letting go of control. These steps aren't about changing your children. They're about changing the way you approach your relationship with them. And when you do that, you create space for respect, understanding, and love to grow. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. Rebuilding respect takes time and effort, but it's never too late to start. Every small step you take is a step toward a stronger, healthier relationship with your children. And remember, you're not alone in this journey. Many of us are navigating similar challenges, and there's so much strength in sharing our experiences and learning from one another. I'd love to hear how these ideas resonate with you. Have you tried expressing gratitude or letting go of control in your relationship with your children? What worked and what didn't? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories and insights. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might benefit from it too. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel for more tips and conversations like this one. Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, no matter where you are in your journey, you have the power to create positive change in your relationships. Here's to building stronger, more respectful connections with the people you love. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.